All right. Water on Earth is always in motion. These motions form a repeating circuit called the water cycle. The water cycle Gizmo allows you to explore the different paths water takes as it moves from Earth's surface to the atmosphere and back. Click ocean. What percentage of Earth's water is found in oceans? So I'm going to go to my Gizmo. Along the side, it says oceans. So I'm going to click it. It says the oceans contain 97.25% of Earth's water. So I go back to my paper and I type in my answer. Yep, you guys are going to write it on your paper. We can do it in partners, but I'm doing a warm-up with you guys. My mobile students will be put into breakout rooms. I will have a couple students working with me in a small group in the back. And other than that, we'll be working with one-to-one or one-on 2 people per group partners. Whatever is not finished is homework, but I am collecting it. So what that means is if you don't finish today, you take it home, it goes in the grade book as a 0 until I get it back. Right? So we need to be super duper focused. Now it wants me to click atmosphere. So I'm going to go back to my Gizmo. I click atmosphere. It asks me how does the sun cause water to move from the oceans to the atmosphere? Can I have somebody read this for me? Somebody at home? Go ahead, Andrew, read what this says for me, please.
It says, when liquid water is heated by the sun, it evaporates into the atmosphere. The atmosphere contains about 13,000 cubic kilometers of water, 2,100 cubic miles, about 0.001% of the total water on the planet.
That's crazy. That's only, if that's the tens place, the hundreds place, that's 1,000th of the Earth's water is in the atmosphere. So what should I write when I go back to my sheet that asks how the sun causes water to move? What should I write? According to what it just said on the Gizmo. Go ahead, Joel. Okay, so I should write the sun does what? What does it do to the water? What? Heats up the water and causes it to? Perfect. So you should be writing what I write. Do you see how I'm writing incomplete sentences? That's what's expected of you. You will not get full credit unless I see full sentences. We know what that means. Capital letters, punctuation, subject, a predicate.
Miss Burley?
Yes?
So after the groups, after we do the whole paper, are we gonna check it with you?
If we have time today, but we took a little while to get started, so I would like to check it with you guys together and bring it back at the end of class, right? But that means that you guys need to be even more focused, because if I walk around and I see that only half of the paper is done, I'm not going to check it with you. Remember, my role is teacher, not answer giver. So you guys need to be mostly done if we're going to check it in class. Click clouds. How do clouds form? So I'm going back to my Gizmo. I'm clicking clouds. Somebody read that one for me, please. Landry, loud and proud.
When
saturated
air, the atmosphere cools, water vapor condenses tiny droplets to form clouds. The spike, providing the source of precipitation, clouds play an important role in controlling Earth's surface.
Beautiful. Well done. Very well done. I like that. I like your expression when you read. So how should I summarize that? How do clouds form? Somebody help me out. Go ahead, Braylon. Perfect. Clouds form when water vapor condenses into tiny droplets. Or condenses, right? Condenses, that means come together, right? If I condense something, it means I'm bringing it together. Now I'm going to go back to my gizmo, just like it said. And it says click precipitation rain. So it's asking me, how does rain form? What causes it to rain? Somebody read this one for me. Somebody new from home. Somebody else.
Me?
Go ahead, Daniel.
When water droplets in clouds grow large enough, they fall as rain. Over 10 meters, 38 feet of rain falls on Mount
Wailele.
Wailele, Hawaii. Yearly, while annual preparation in Death Valley, California averages 3.1 centimeters, 1.4 inches.
Perfect. Death Valley is the lowest point in the entire United States. It's a desert. So it kind of just tells you like a high and a low, right? So I'm going to go back to my paper. What does it say? How does rain form? Someone summarize that for me. Show me that you're capable of doing this by summarizing it. Somebody new? Do we need to stand up to wake up? All right, go ahead, Cody. Perfect. When water droplets in clouds grow large and heavy, they fall as rain. So it's going to ask me to go back to oceans. This is super important for the next step, guys. So I'm going to go back to oceans. Do you see how it's a simulation? This is what it's like simulating or showing me. But when I hit path, look, pay attention, y'all. When I hit path, it's telling me all the paths my water took. In order for it to be a cycle, it has to begin and end in the same place. Because that really means that there is no true beginning or end. It started in the ocean, it ends in the ocean. It's a cycle, a circle. Like a bicycle, right? A bicycle has two wheels. A wheel has no set beginning or end. That's why it's called a cycle, right? So do you guys see how it says oceans, starts at oceans and ends at ocean? All of your water cycles should do that. All of yours should do that. It should have 5 steps. Yours may show a little bit different if you click something extra. So right here, guys, the next step when you're working with a partner, it has to begin and end in the same place when you create your cycles. Do we understand? All right, I'm gonna give you the next 25 minutes to do the rest of this with a partner. Let me be clear on this. If I walk around and see that you're not focused, we will not go over the answers. Are we clear? You can choose your partners. However, I need the following students at my back table. All right, so remember, like I said, as long as your water cycle started and ended in the same place, then you did it correctly. You should have steps in between. It just goes to show that a cycle is a circle, right? Begins and ends in the same place. Percentage of Earth's water can be found in soils 0.005%. And we said what, Landry, is stored in ice and snow? We're not talking about fresh water. We're talking about 68.7%. And our fresh water that's stored in ice and snow is 1.9%. What percentage of Earth's water is found in lakes? What percentage is found in lakes? Helen? 0.009%. That's 9 thousandths. Because I've got my tens place, my hundreds place, and my thousands place. Very little, right? What is transpiration? Remember, we talked about it as trees sweating, but trees don't really sweat. So what is it, Joel?
When a plant or something that grows in the earth releases water and
Through what?
through like its little root, like its
Their leaves, right? Because it absorbs water through the roots but releases it through the leaves. Just like we drink water with our mouths and release it through our pores, right? Our sweat.
Because they can have multiple ways of releasing.
That works. So this one was tricky. What human activity uses the most water worldwide? Hint, it is not drinking. It is not drinking. What is it, Diego? No, what is it, Helen? Agriculture.
Farming.
That's farming. It's not vegetation. It is
Drinking.
industry. That's like businesses. Think about how much water we use to wash our dishes, to wash our clothes. I hope you're showering regularly, right? What organisms break down chemical waste in a treatment plant?
Bacteria.
Bacteria. It reminds me of that scene from Tarzan where the little elephant's like, is that water sanitary? And they're like, yes, dear. But what about bacteria? What is an aquifer? What is an aquifer without calling out? Kyle. Okay, so, I love that you paraphrase that. So we could say water stored underground in layers of porous rock. What's your question? Oh, we did. So this ended up being Casper. This is Mighty Maple, and that one doesn't have a name yet. All right, let's focus. What's a reservoir then? What word do we see in reservoir? What word do I see, Helen? Reserve. So what do I think a reservoir is, Maddox?
A man-made reservoir.
So a man-made
Storage.
storage for water.
I already said man-made lake.
That's fine. But remember, it's a storage for water. It's not just a lake, because reservoirs we will actually drink out of. We will purify them. Lakes, not so much. Yes. Okay, how can runoff be a problem, Braylon?
Serious flooding and erosion.
Yes. It can cause serious flooding and erosion. Enough to the point, remember I talked about how I took a class in college on water, just straight up water, for like an entire semester. And it talked about how when people walk their dogs, the dog poop they leave behind ends up getting eroded, and it causes nitrate level fluctuations in the water and causes fish to die. So it's super important that you guys are not only picking up after yourselves, but also your animals if you're walking them.
They don't have gums.
Oh, can I open in a second? Okay. Ojos. All right, we got 5 more minutes to do this part. Somebody without calling out. We change from a what to a what when we evaporate. Somebody from home. Somebody from home.
From a liquid to a gas.
Water, we change water from
A liquid to a gas?
Yeah.
Caleb, what about condensation?
From a gas to a liquid.
Very good. Leon, what about melting? Oops.
From a liquid to solid from a
A
liquid.
solid to a liquid. Asen, what about freezing?
It's a liquid to a solid.
Liquid to a solid. Perfect. All right. This one you might have had several. You might have debated on a couple of these. Landry, ocean to the atmosphere. How's it get there? Evaporation. Joel, atmosphere to the clouds. Remember what? There you got it.
Condensation.
Condensation, because it condenses as a cloud. Cloud to snow. Cody. Precipitation. And slash freezing. You could say both. Glacier to a river.
I'm sorry. I forgot. Well, freezing. No,
Wait.
wait, melting.
Melting. Thank you. Brian, cloud to soil. Cloud to soil. How's it get from the sky to the ground? Participation. I do that too. Precipitation. Perfect. What two processes cause the following from an ocean to a cloud? How's it get from the ocean to the atmosphere? Maddox. Evaporation, condensation, nation. Awesome. I keep forgetting the A. All right. What about a cloud to a glacier? Cloud to a glacier. Anybody new?
Participation?
Separation and precipitation.
Okay. Not quite. Not quite. It goes from the cloud. It's already condensed.
Oh.
So how's it fall? How's it fall from the cloud?
No.
Precipitation.
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 Oops. And then what next, Landry?
Freezing.
Freezing.
Oh, okay, that makes. All right.
Now look, I'm not answering this question for you. This is all you. But I want complete sentences, and they need to be at least 3 sentences. Why are we short on water when over the two-thirds of the Earth's surface is covered in it? Don't say it out loud, but I want you to think critically here. Don't just tell me because it's not clean. I'm like, okay, well, why not? Right? Expand on it. Maybe even come up with a solution of your own. Got it? This is due to me the next time I see you, because I know a lot of you didn't finish it. And for those of you at home, it's due as soon as possible. That would be hopefully by the end of the day today.